friends, welcome back to Moon Magic Spirit. My name is Meg, and today we are doing a tarot reading for the collective about some messages for Mercury Retrograde. Mercury retrograde is now direct in Libra, so every couple of months, like it's about 3 times a year, normally we face Mercury retrograde, the dreaded Mercury retrograde. And this time we're in Libra season, the retrograde is in Libra, and with every retrograde there is a 2-week pre-shadow period. It's direct for 2 weeks, and then there's another 2 weeks post-shadow period. So it seems like a little bit of a long time to be dealing with some possible issues with technology and communication and all of that. So I wanted to do a tarot spread for the collective today to see what we can expect out of this Mercury retrograde. This tarot spread is by AP_astrology on Instagram. I really love his account. He's always posting fun tarot spreads and info on astrology and what is going on with the planets. So be sure to check him out. I'll have the link down below. You'll also see a Koji link down below. It's like Linktree, but better. I like Koji better. And it will take you to where else you can connect with me. I have my website launching very soon. So if you've been interested in booking a reading with me yourself, and hopefully the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll be able to. But let's get into the spread and the questions. It is a 5-card spread, and card 1 is, what should you reflect on this retrograde period? Such a beautiful question. What insights will be available to you? Also a great question. What needs to be clarified, right? Because a lot of things that happen with Mercury retrograde is misunderstanding and communication. So I think what needs to be clarified is a really good question to ask, just because we may not be able to see the bigger picture ourselves. Card 4 is, what do you need to know right now? And the last one is, what is the outcome? Because I think we're all curious, like, what is going to happen this Mercury retrograde? How are we going to come out? Are we going to come out unscathed? Are we going to come out like with a tower moment? Like, what is going to happen? Personally, for me, just about every day of the pre-shadow period was real rough. So fingers crossed. Knock on wood, I hope I'm good for while it's direct and the post-shadow, but the pre-shadow was pretty rough, so I'm hoping it got it all out, and I feel like a lot of people were saying the same. So I think that these cards are going to give us a lot of things to think and reflect on during this period over the next month, so I hope you guys are ready, and let's see what messages the cards have for us today. This is a reading for the collective. It's not a personal reading, so that means that I am just asking my guides in spirit, what does anyone who comes across this video need to know? So there may be some cards that you really resonate with, other cards not so much, and that's totally okay. But I'm just feeling that this is going to be a really strong and powerful message. So let's get into shuffling. It's always really hard to do this on camera. I am having the worst time trying to shuffle with my camera literally right here. So I'm going to do a quick shuffle that's actually decent off camera, and then I'll come back and I will pull the cards at the top of the pile. Okay, I am back. So let's go ahead and flip the cards. Okay, so first off, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So this is like all about teamwork and collaboration, like learning from other people, implementing something, building. So what should you reflect on this retrograde season? We have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, and next we pulled Temperance for what insights will be available to you. So with Temperance, it's all about balance, patience, you know, just like floating along the middle path. So we will dive into that more in just a second. What needs to be clarified? Okay, we just pulled my favorite card in the entire deck is a High Priestess. I love High Priestess energy. She is like the moon. Literally, she is assigned the moon. So to me, what needs to be clarified, this is going to be all about our intuition and how we need to lean into that more. Okay, we have the Sun. This is like a really nice spread. I'm like a little bit thrown off here for such a nice spread so far for a retrograde spread. So what do you need to know? The sun, I mean, the sun is success, joy, celebrating, fun, positivity, warmth, like, okay. And all right. This is such a nice spread. Okay, last card is strength. So we pulled a Leo card. What is the outcome of this? Strength. I mean, hello, like the card is right there in the name. But basically, strength, bravery, compassion, focus, courage. So this is quite the nice spread that we have here. Okay, let's go about these one by one. I'm so sorry about the lighting. I was just really compelled to do this like at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so for the first card, going back to what should I reflect on this retrograde, we pulled the Three of Pentacles, so it's like a lot of earth energy. The Pentacles is very tangible, materialistic, things that are in the physical realm. It's all about working towards your goals and security for the future. So again, like I said, some of the keywords are like collaborating with others, building stuff, implementing, you know, you have like all of the steps laid out and now it's time to put your thoughts and ideas to work. But this card is like, it's very much don't do this alone, don't unnecessarily struggle. So whatever project you're working on, you don't need to make it harder than it needs to be. So, you know, whatever it is that you're working on right now, how can you reach out to other people and utilize sources to make things easier on you, right? So to relate this back to retrograde, things can get a little bit hectic and thrown off, and it can be very frustrating. And yes, communication is something that can be like lost in the water a little bit, but I feel like it's really going to be to your benefit if you reach out to other people. Just be very clear in your communication, what you're looking for and what you're wanting from others. So ask for help, ask for resources, reach out to the community. Like, you don't have to do this alone. The other people are there and they're going to want to help you. They're going to want to collaborate with you. They're going to be happy to. So just make sure when others do help you that you're acknowledging their value and that you're learning from them. So what's something that you can learn from somebody? Reach out to them and collaborate with them. Make sure you thank them for their kindness and hard work. So you're implementing the next steps to what you're working on. You're putting the plan together, and this is a sign that you're on the right track. So don't let retrograde scare you or make you think like you need to slow down or put things on pause. This is kind of like a green light to continue on. And just make sure, so like something to reflect on is to just make sure that you're implementing your goals is what I think. Like, really make sure that you have your action plan and that you're actually taking the steps to implement that. So next we pulled Miss Temperance over here, and Temperance always throws me off. I don't really have much connection to this card, honestly. This represents Sagittarius. So what insights will be available to me? This card is screaming patience. So again, some of the keywords are balance, patience, peace, finding meaning to things, finding your purpose, walking the middle path. You know, it's all about like balancing the cups, balancing the scales, not giving too much and having it overflow and leaving the other one too empty. So when it comes to insights, be patient. Don't feel like you have to rush. Especially since this is a fire sign, Sagittarius. Speaking as an Aries, I feel the need to always rush through things, and I'm working on a pretty big project myself behind the scenes, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to get it done and to like I'm here. I'm already at the Three of Pentacles, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm implementing the steps, but I'm kind of like rushing it, and I'm feeling like all this pressure, and like what I need to do is just have patience and slow down. So I think it's kind of funny that she represents a fire sign. And she's like the card of patience, right? Because fire signs need patience. So I'm definitely seeing this as a call for insights to slow down, don't rush, have patience. You're being invited to sort of stabilize your energy, because I feel like retrograde makes things feel a little bit hectic and out of place, and you may feel like you have to rush through things. So, you know, you may be thinking the faster I get this done, the less mess up there is with retrograde, right? Because like I'm going to rush through it and get it done and not stretch it out during retrograde. But when you're rushing through it, that's where things can go wrong. There could be mistakes, misunderstandings. So by taking that patience and just stabilizing your energy, it's really going to help you have a successful and happy retrograde. So don't let the little things get to you. And another thing here with balancing it, beware of passive aggressive behavior. Okay. Retrograde can definitely bring out the passive aggressiveness in us and in others. So just really beware of the passive aggressive behavior. And if you find yourself being passive aggressive, this is your reminder to take a step back, take a deep breath, reflect some more before you open up and have that attitude. If you're dealing with someone being passive aggressive towards you, my recommendation is to just take a step back from them and just give them some space and time. And then also take the time to reflect. I feel like temperance is also a call to reflect on things, which is going to tie in to the high priestess that we're going to get to in a second. But you're being called to just step back and reflect a lot, especially this retrograde being in Libra. It's all about balance and finding harmony. So if somebody is being passive aggressive with you, I suggest you give them the space, take a step back and reflect on that relationship. Like, is this a common occurrence? Is this maybe a call for you to reevaluate your relationship with this person? Like, is this somebody that you need in your life? Is it someone that maybe doesn't serve you anymore? So temperance is just really calling you to have that patience and reflect and just, think before you speak, so to say. It's a great time to just find footing from a different perspective. And that's going to give you the insight to tie it back to the question. All right, so for prompt 3, we have what needs to be clarified this retrograde season, and we got the almighty divine high priestess, who is the moon, represents the moon. I love this card. So again, it's like intuition, your subconscious mind, your inner voice. It's literally reflect, go inwards, listen to yourself, tell your ego to shut it, and listen to your gut. So what needs to be clarified? If you are questioning anything, listen to your intuition. That's literally what the card is saying. You need to access the knowledge deep within side of yourself. So again, going back to temperance of slowing down and being patient, that ties into the high priestess. You really need to take time to just be still and allow your intuition to guide you to find the answers you're looking for. So you need to feel rather than think, collaborate, right? Rather than compete with each other, collaborate. So feel instead of thinking, collaborate with others instead of competing with them. Just really take some time to just be still with yourself. Reflect inwards. If you're into meditation, meditation is great, but sometimes just sitting there for a minute and just taking deep breaths and just really trying to connect with your guides and with your intuition is really going to help bring you clarity on any situation moving forward. So I feel like this retrograde is really calling you to respect, listen, and practice listening to your intuition. So when you end retrograde, you are carrying this skill of building your intuition and carrying that on afterwards, and it's going to be a really great asset for you. So something really good for retrograde is just practicing your intuition and connecting with it so you can walk out stronger. Alrighty. The messages are like really coming in hot tonight. So card 4, what do you need to know? We pulled the sun, which is the sun. I mean, it's like everything is going to be okay, man. Like if you are collaborating with others, if you have patience, if you're connecting to your intuition, you don't have anything to worry about. Everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. I hope my cards were in frame because when I'm downloading information, I'm not looking at the monitor. I'm like looking at, I'm just like staring at a spot in my house, and I realize I may have been holding the cards like this, so I apologize. But if you are following steps 1, 2, and 3, everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay. There are no worries, man, which is like, what a reassuring card to pull during a Mercury retrograde. Like, how, like, I can't believe I pulled the Sun card for a retrograde spread. So again, joy, success, celebration, fun, positivity, warmth, everything will be okay. Have that confidence. You really need to strip away what's holding you back from being your authentic self. So when you have that patience, you have that time of being still, you really need to reflect not just on your relationships, but also with yourself. Like, is the fear of other people not accepting you getting in the way? I think another great question is, why is my reality not what I want it to be? So if you are struggling to let go, if you feel like you're not being your authentic self, that is such a great question to ask yourself. Why is your reality not the way you want it to be? Is it because you need to let go of that fear? Is it because you need to be still with yourself and really connect with your intuition? And, finding your authentic self will also help you collaborate with other people that will have your best intention in mind. This retrograde is really calling you to take a genuine step back and a break to just have some serious self-reflection and slow down so you can emerge from this being your authentic self with a deeper connection to your intuition. Your positivity is going to be a light for others. So take this time over the next 2 weeks and even the shadow period, the 2-week shadow period, to take your power back. What's holding you back from being your authentic self? What's holding you back from being happy? What's holding you back from being this Sun card? Think on that, reflect on that, and emerge from this retrograde more powerful and be really being your authentic self. So lastly, we have the Strength card. What is the outcome of retrograde? I mean, it says it right here. If you follow A, B, C, and D, you will emerge with all of the strength and compassion, right? Because she did not tame this lion with force. She tamed this lion by earning its trust, being compassionate and loving towards itself. So you need to see the lion as yourself and what you need to do to have this loving relationship between your intuition and you. What steps do you need to take? Are you following all of this? So this is something to reflect back on. So this is a Leo card. And of course, again, keywords: bravery, compassion, focus, courage. You'll leave this retrograde being confident, overcoming any fears, challenges, and doubts that you have. You are going to be able to approach situations and people with forgiveness and compassion. Remember to identify with your intuition over your ego, right? Because the lion, Leo, it's an ego sign, right? So identify with your intuition. This lovely woman here I see as intuition. The lion is your ego. You are taming it with love, kindness, and compassion. Be loving, kind, and compassionate towards yourself. Never forget that. This is really going to increase your self-esteem and you're going to know your worth. So you're going to go through all these different lessons to come out of this retrograde as the Sun and also as a Strength card, just having such an increase in your self-esteem, knowing your worth, being able to be your true authentic self. You are taking the steps to be there. This is going to be such a significant retrograde for you. I pulled all major arcana cards except for the first one. Like, this is huge. This has really big meaning. So I hope that you really listen to this video and that you take the messages and you put it, practice it and put it to use and implement it, because we all deserve to be with the Sun and with the Strength card, especially at the end of this retrograde season. I'm also going to be putting out a crystal guide to help get you through retrograde so you can work with your crystals while you're working on these beautiful lessons that are in front of us. I had a lot of messages that needed to come out in this one, so it was a bit long. I am shocked that we got such a beautiful spread. Like, truly, I cannot believe we got such kind messages, and I can't emphasize this enough. We have the freedom of choice. So like, whether this retrograde turns out the way the cards say is honestly, it's up to you, because you really do need to follow the lessons of the first 3 cards, especially to get to the last two cards, to get to the Sun, to get to the Strength. It's up to you to do that reflection and put the work in. So let me know what cards resonated with you, if any messages stood out. I hope you guys have a blessed Mercury retrograde, and we will talk soon. Bye, everyone.